Welcome to FamilyPreneur, the podcast for parent entrepreneurs
raising kidpreneurs.
It's time for your weekly dose of inspiration and actionable tips to build your business and find better balance, all while strengthening your family. And now we'd like to introduce your host.
She's my mom and thebomb.com, Meg Brunson.
Hey there, welcome to episode number 108 of the FamilyPreneur podcast. On today's Marketing Monday episode, we are going to talk about identifying the highest converting creatives through multiple creative testing and why that's so important. So I want to start off by thanking you for joining me today. If you are brand new to the show, welcome. My name is Meg Brunson, and I am a former Facebook employee. And through the FamilyPreneur podcast, I offer marketing advice. I talk about entrepreneurship, and I talk about family and balancing all of those things together. On Mondays, we focus on marketing. On Wednesdays is our MidWeek Mastermind, where I interview parent or child entrepreneurs. And then Friday is my day for reflection. And that Friday day is kind of my catch-all. So some of those days may be marketing related, some may be family related. It varies a little bit. This Friday, we are going to be talking about F8. F8 is Facebook's annual developer conference. I love this conference. And as always, I was in attendance and went to not only the keynotes, but a ton of the breakout sessions. And I have a ton of information that I am looking forward to sharing with you on Friday. But for now, we're going to dive into our normally scheduled Monday content and talk about multiple creative testing. The way that Facebook is set up right now. So here's the other thing. Facebook is changing pretty dramatically in September. So first, we're going to talk about how things are right now, and then we'll touch on how things are going to be changing in the future. So as things are right now, at the campaign level is where you identify your objective. At the ad set level is where you identify your audience, your budgeting, your scheduling. And then at the ad level is where you identify your copy and your creative. And that creative could be an image, it could be a video. There are a few different creative options that we'll be talking about this month. One of the biggest mistakes I see from people is that they will take some time and they'll either spend a lot of time designing one image that they think is perfect, and then they'll run with that image. Or they'll create 2 or 3 images, and then they go into a Facebook group and they post all these images and they ask people for their advice. Which one would you respond to? And they're sourcing this advice from a group in order to determine which ad to run on Facebook. And this is a seriously flawed strategy, and it's flawed for a couple of reasons. Number one, the people in that group aren't necessarily your ideal target audience. And even if you're fairly certain that they are based on the topic of the group, the Facebook ad algorithms are specifically developed to get you the results that you want from your audience, and those aren't going to be the same people that are in that group or the same people who are in that group and choosing to respond to your post, because not everybody is going to participate in that post, right? Instead, what you need to be aware of is that the Facebook algorithm and the way that Facebook ads are set up is perfectly positioned to allow you to test multiple creatives at once. And Facebook will automatically serve all of these ads out in the beginning in order to determine what people are responding to. And then it'll automatically optimize delivery, serving the ad that the most people are responding to so that you can get whatever action you're optimizing for at the campaign level. Does that make sense? So what you really need to do is develop your campaign, right? Choose your objective. Build out your ad set exactly how you want it, and then create multiple ads. Now, I often suggest starting with creative testing. That's the image, the video, and the reason is because that's the element of your ad that gets people to stop scrolling. It's not words. that get people to stop scrolling in the news feed. It's an image that catches their attention. So you want to, or a video. So you want to test that creative. At a minimum, test the creative every single time you're running an ad. Now, how many creatives can you test? Facebook doesn't really have a limit. If you're selecting static images, you can select up to 6 at one time. If you're duplicating and creating new ads, then you can actually do an indefinite amount. However, you want to keep your budget in mind. So you want to make sure that you've got enough budget at the ad set level that will power the delivery of your ads. So to do this, I often recommend that you think about what objective you're targeting. If you're running something like a video view ad, you could do a lower budget and get away with it really easily. You could test 2 different videos at $5 a day and be absolutely fine because your video views are going to come in at 1 to 3 cents, right? If it's a conversion ad, though, you may need a bigger budget in order to test 3 or 4 images. You may need to be putting $30, $40, $50 a day behind this ad set if you want to be testing 4 images. Now, of course, it's going to depend upon your specific business and your specific costs. And if you have specific questions about that, you can head into the FamilyPreneur community. That is the best place to get your questions answered. I am active in that group. There are tons of other familypreneurs who are active in that group, and you can request access if you're not already a member at familypreneurcommunity.com. So again, I just want to recap. Whenever you are running an ad, you should have multiple ads under an ad set because it allows Facebook to optimize the creative so that you're getting the most results. I want to tell you a quick story. One of my clients I used to work with, they were a dentist office who happened to be based in Florida. Every single image that this dentist office used in their Facebook ads was a blonde white woman with gorgeous smiling teeth. Finally, I convinced her to do some split testing. And at that point, she used her gorgeous smiling teeth woman, and we did some split tests with some kind of funnier cartoony images. And sure enough, the cartoony image outperformed the smiling blonde. Now, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day because she got the conversions that she wanted, right? That's what matters. So I encourage you to test more than one creative and try testing a variety of creatives so that you've got something from something that varies dramatically from the other creatives that you're testing. Now, as I mentioned, things are going to be changing in September. Primarily, the big change that's coming is that right now we set the budget at the ad set level. And in September, that is moving to the campaign level. And you may think that doesn't sound like such a significant shift, but it will change the way that your campaigns, your ad sets are optimizing. Right now, optimization happens at the ad set level. So you can have an ad set, have 3 ads under it. Those ads will optimize under the ad set. Going forward, you'll have one campaign, and then you might have 2 ad sets under that campaign, and those ad sets are going to optimize based on the budget. So it's going to change the way that we set up these multiple creative testing a little bit, because if you're testing 2 different ad sets and each of those ad sets has 2 images, suddenly you need a much bigger budget to fuel these tests. So I do caution you that this advice I'm giving you today is going to be valid through the time that these changes take place. Once the changes happen, there will be new recommendations. We will always recommend that you're always testing, but I'm going to recommend that you do it in a slightly different way. Primarily that you are only testing one variable at any given time unless you have a really big budget, in which case it would just be a totally unique situation. So assuming that you're on a relatively bootstrapped budget, You're only going to want to test one variable at a time. So that might mean the creatives, it might mean the audience, but you're going to want to ensure that you're only doing one at a time, and then you can drill down and test other variables as you go. Now, as you may know, I do have a Facebook course that goes through all of this stuff with videos and worksheets, and then a community support from a group specifically of course members. That course is being updated this summer to reflect all of these changes that Facebook is making. So it is not open at this time, but if you happen to be one of the enrolled students, I do want you to know that you have lifetime access, and when those updates hit, they will automatically roll out to you. If you're not already enrolled and you want to be enrolled, I highly recommend it. You can get on the waitlist now at readysetad.com. That waitlist will open back up in August when we are preparing for the next launch of the course. So I would love to get you over to readysetad.com so you can learn more about that course and stay on top of all of these changes. Now, with multiple creative testing, it's pretty easy. After 2 or 3 days, you just need to hop into Ads Manager, take a look at the analytics, and turn off the ads that are underperforming to allow the ad that is performing best to spend the full budget on its performance. Like I said, we'll run these tests every single time that we run a campaign because it gives us the best chance of finding the ad that's really going to resonate with our audience and get us the results that we desire. You'll find all of the links mentioned in this week's episode and the show notes at megbrunson.com/108. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope you enjoyed learning about multiple creative testing, and now you feel like you understand the importance of always testing different creatives or testing just different elements of your campaign to find the thing that's going to work best with your audience at any given time. And remember, something that worked well for them a month ago may not be the best thing that will work for them now, so we always have to be testing. Until next time, have a great week, and we'll talk soon. Bye.
Did you know that my mom has a Facebook page, Instagram account, YouTube channel, and more? Her username is The Meg Brunson. Just about everywhere. You should go follow her.